Stadium family-friendly area is on the grass hill at the airport end of the stadium. Antisocial behaviour will not be tolerated. Please report any issues to stadium management. TIO Stadium is a dry zone until 4 p.m. No alcohol is allowed on the playing arena at any time. Please remember, TIO Stadium is a non-smoking venue. A designated smoking area is located adjacent to the Bonson Gate.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In preparation for tonight's men's preliminary final, we ask that you now clear the playing arena.
Good evening and welcome to Southern Cross Television's coverage of the TIO season. It's preliminary final night. Boys, this one's going to be a cracker with Southern Districts taking on Nightcliff, the winner through to the big dance next week to take on the Buffs. Jimmy Driscoll, Timmy Weatherall, thanks for joining us. Jimmy, we'll start with you, mate. Just take us through some, there's a few big ins and outs tonight.
So Nightcliff haven't had any changes, but a couple of big ins for the Districts with Jared Brennan and Jake Rowe-Duggan, who haven't played for over 6 or 7 weeks. So two big ins there, so we'll see how those boys go tonight.
Timmy, Nightcliff were sensational last week, weren't they? Knocking out St Mary's, which was a bit of a surprise for everyone, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I guess it gets a bit of hoodoo off their back. They've sort of gone out in the last few years in sort of straight sets, so they're really keen. They've had that really good finals win now, and they'll play with a lot of confidence tonight. And yeah, they haven't beaten them during the year. Last time these two met, got washed out, which doesn't happen too often in footy, but so they haven't met since earlier in the year, so round 11. So it's been a long time between games between these two. So I'm sure they've studied each other over the last month or so, and they're both ready to go tonight.
Jimmy, just quickly, mate, before we get underway here at TIO Stadium, last week it was a very, very heavy night on the track for the Southern District Crocs. What will that do to them this week?
It'll be interesting to see how they go, because obviously St Mary's had the earlier game and pretty good conditions. So the second half last week was definitely very heavy, and the inside midfield of Tambling, Curry and Rowe-Duggan, as well as Ed Barlow, will be tested tonight, I reckon.
I think they're missing one too with Kane Davis too. He's one of my favourites, a fan favourite. Nice hard inside player. I'll be missing him tonight. I would have thought. Few untested players. I'm looking forward to see Jared Brennan, as you said earlier, Leroy Jetta out. Jared Brennan come back in, but here we go. It's preliminary final night. Nightcliff taking on the Crocs as we're underway. J-Mail with a nice tap. Goes down, hunts his own ball. Tambling with the clearance to centre forward. There's Brennan. He overruns that one. Kane Wright puts his head over it. Brennan gets boots a ball. Nathan Brown stands under that one. Goes back with the flight. Umpire says play on. Snap on goal is out of bounds on the full. So Southern Districts doing all the attacking early. Yeah, so Paddy Cossack's got the job on Willie Farrow, who was kept goalless last week. So I'm sure he'll try to get on the scoreboard early tonight and get some confidence going himself. Savika from the bus was absolutely extraordinary last week on that man, as Cam Eilert gets his first look at it in the back pocket, just weighing up his options. He's got Brady Follow on, ignores that, pops it over the top. Nice looking kick, although Farrow drops that one, but gets the handsball out to Captain Brown. He goes long down the line with a beautiful kick straight down the throat of Coco Nicky. He just puts that one inside 50. So, look at this, breaks the tackle, going inside, Coco Nicky with a snap. And he's got it. Have a look at that. They're revving people up. It's going off early. There's a lot of revving up happening here. But Coco Nicky gets the first one for the Nightcliff Tigers. 1 goal straight. Districts yet to score.
Yeah, and it's definitely on early. Very quick movement of the ball from Nightcliff. Obviously got out the back there and just got to get it in nice and quick to a one-on-one. And once you keep your feet, it's game on. So beautiful finish there.
Just a shove in the back there. They're revving him up too straight away, weren't they? Tim Brooks. Just straight into him. Anyway, Nightcliff with the quick start. Just the 2 minutes gone in the opening quarter. As Jules Lockwood gets nice and high, gets the tap over the top. Here's Barlow. He hasn't had much of it yet. Brody Philo just puts it to centre half forward. Could have been holding on. Now umpire says play on. Coco Nicky gets the handball out. It just goes along the ground. Good pressure there from the Southern District's defence. Frederick Sleeth, angry man from last week, with the nice handball over the top. It looks like the Crocs have cleared this one. Here's Barlow running onto it. Hunted by Philo. Gets a handball over the top. Beautiful handball it was too. Here's Rosier. Does well. Puts it inside 50 with a beautiful kick. Have a look at that. And finds the chest of Dylan Barry.
Yeah, he's always a beautiful user of the ball, Matty Rosie, and just sort of great run there by the Districts out of defence. 3 really good hits of the ball, and they hit the targets every time. And if you can use the ball quickly like that, we hope we see lots of that tonight, those fast movements from the fence and giving their teams shots on goal.
So Barry on the approach from about 35 out, gets onto it, gets a quick reply, it looks like. Southern Districts get their first one for the evening. Dylan Barry gets his first one. It's a goal apiece, Jimmy.
Yeah, it is, and we see how the pace of the game early is very quick. And after last week, Districts that want to get off to a really good start, they were very sloppy early, and that in the end, that's what cost them the game. So if they can keep this run and carry and good forward line use going, they'll be pretty dangerous all night.
Yeah, the Alice Spring boy there, he's moved up here and playing some really good footy is Dylan Barry. That's a great finish, and yeah, it's a good start to this game.
Goal apiece here. It's game on. Who's going to meet the Darwin Buffaloes next week in the big dance? As we're back underway, Jamar with the tap. Body's flying around. Jules Lockwood clears his own ball. Pops over Ryan Moore's head, and he's given away the free kick from the back. Advantage paid. Here go the Crocs. Can they get two in a row? 3 bounces. Inside 50 now with a nice kick. Although it pops out the back. Bit rusty there. Brown with time and space. Island under pressure. Bit of a hospital ball. He gets around it. He's good enough. Cam Islet is the favourite to win the Nichols medal tomorrow night. Jules Lockwood drops that one. Barlow out of his hands. Here's little Ryan Moo again. Pops out. Have a look at this. Farah on the left. And just pops over the top. Goes through for a minor score. So it's 1-1. 7 to Southern Districts. Nightcliff just the one straight. Gone 4.5 minutes. Here's Philo. Pops out to Wilson. He puts it down. He's got time though. Chucks it on the boot. Does well really. To Elliot Powell. Now pops it over the top. Philo gets it back. The boy from Bendigo, he's just turned that one straight down the throat of Barlow. He puts the grubber in towards his Wilson. He's got time here. Pops over the top. Ryan Moo, the little quick unit. Get those little legs pumping. Puts the ball inside 50 with a nice looking kick. Well spoiled there from the Southern Districts defence. Sam Smith clears it. They've done well here. Tim Brook just puts it over, although he's turned this one over, although Barlow's good enough to get that one back. Brook just puts it out wide. Some nice work there. Jared Brennan, good to see this man back. Hasn't played in over a month. Umpire says play on, dances around Riley, does very well. Puts it deep, inside 50 to a 2-on-1. Farah flies from the back, not good enough to grab it though. It's Nightcliff with the numbers. He's Cam Islet. He's down back. Oh, good tackle. Beautiful work there from Dean Staunton. So he's got the ball up against the boundary line. He'll kick from about 45 out.
He kicked 2 really good goals last week in his first game back for a long time, so I'm sure he'd be keen to get on the board straight away here today, and he might have just done it. First kick of the night for Dean Staunton. That's almost 3 kicks in 3 weeks and 3 goals for the young man. So great goal there, and yeah, Districts get their second goal of the night.
2-1-13 to 1 goal straight. Unbelievable work from the little man Staunton. Now 45 out on the fence, Jimmy.
Absolutely, beautiful shot on goal, and they've had a lot of the footy so far, Districts. Nightcliff will need to tighten up a bit. You see, once they win the footy, Nightcliff are a little bit slow to cover off, and even that one there, Paddy Cossack just needed to hold out Willie Farrer, and Brown would have taken the mark. So they've just got to be a little bit smarter with how they're closing out their opposition.
Yeah, I reckon Jared Brennan were pretty happy to have his little mate there playing up forward line with him in Jared Brennan. Just sort of opens up that forward line for him and just makes it a bit easier too. They can't double team him so much.
Back in the middle, Jules Lockwood with the tap. Scanlon was being held onto. Umpire says play on. Ball pops out. His body's flying around for the moment. Umpire circling and says he will ball it up. 7 minutes gone in the first quarter. It's 13-6. Southern Districts Wales. We have a look at the bench. Richard Tamberling, the experienced finals campaigner up here. This big Jamar gets rid of one quite easily. Phil Wills just taps up one for forward. Wilson works it well. Spots up Cam Islet. Cam Islet wheels around. Puts it inside 50 with a nice looking ball. Over the top of Emery and over the line, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Interesting matchup with Jules Lockwood playing on Big Jamar. Lockwood sort of becomes a second midfielder once the ruck work's done, so I think that might be a little bit of a win for Nightcliff.
They did well last week, the Buffs, on Big J-May. Has such an impact. We're back underway. Ball on the deck. Just pops out there. Staunton gets a clearing kick. Wilson being held onto by Barlow. Umpire says play on. And that one's too high. And the free kick coming back to little Staunton. He's been everywhere, the little man, so far. Barry marks that one. Wheels around on the left. Nice looking kick. The Brennan direction. Him and Riley go after it. Brennan keeps it in, taps it to advantage, does well. Here's Barlow, throws it on the left. Has that got enough on it? Just across the face and over the line. I thought that was going home. Jimmy.
Yeah, they're pretty dangerous when they're going forward, Southern Districts, with Kane Riley playing on Jared Brennan. It doesn't allow him to suck off and intercept marks. So they're going to have to work out a way to get a spare back and try and just cover off there.
Ball thrown back in. McLeod with the tap. Pops out the back. Have a look at this. Nice snap on goal. Don't tell me. Rory O'Brien. Take a bow. Powell. What a great snap, Timmy.
Yeah, you love that from the little fellas, getting front and centre and just that clean take off the pack. And he knew exactly what he was doing. As soon as he got that ball in his hands, he just saw those goals and put it straight into the boot. Hit the outside of the boot and it spun back beautifully. So it's a great start here for the Southern Districts Footy Club.
3-1-19 to 1 goal straight, nearly 10 minutes gone in the opening quarter. It's been an eventful opening quarter so far.
Yeah, it's been really good to see Ed Barlow. I think he's made a bit of a difference early in this game as well, playing on ball initially, but he's now actually pushed himself up forward for a bit as well. But he often finds himself in defence, but I think it's a great move by Shannon Rusker having around the ball a bit more tonight.
Here's Sam Smith, gets a clearance down to Tambling, up to centre half forward. Riley stands and waits, under pressure. Phil Wills, there's a free kick coming back to Riley from the back, it looks like. So he spots up a target on the far side in Philo. He's under pressure, boots a ball. Frederick Sleeth stands under it, pops out the back. Here's Emery, although it's cut off there beautifully by the Crocs defence. Just pops a little chiseler over to Brooke. Brooke goes long in the Barlow direction and the double fister over the top from Paul Scanlon.
The old boy got there in good time. It's a pretty strong midfield from both teams, so I think that's going to be obviously where it's won and lost tonight. But yeah, Ed Barlow around the footy, as you mentioned, boys, has definitely had an impact early.
Getting the extreme close-up of the Crocs bench. Very close. The tap goes back to Ryan Moore's advantage. Ball inside 50, Tambling hunting a few down. That one's over the line and we'll have another boundary throw-in.
Yeah, sort of ball hasn't been down the Nightcliff area for a little bit, so it's just probably nice for their forwards to get the ball in the area, get their hands on the ball and just see how Southern District's defence holds up here for a little bit.
Plenty of numbers around this contest. The umpire hoists it back in. Smith with the tap forward to advantage, although it's Nightcliff with Brody Philo chopped off. That is holding the ball. What a great tackle. So Farah pops it over to Tambling. Travels the required 15. Tambling plays on, puts it inside 50, straight down the throat of Brown, although he coughs that one up. They're into his back. Riley with the handball out. There's great pressure here from the Crocs. Nice little spinner move there from Roe Duggan. Pops it over the top to Barlow, and he can go back and have a set shot on a pretty difficult angle. I don't mind his chances from here. He's about kick from about 45 out. Southern Districts looking the dominant side here early at TIO Stadium. 12 minutes gone in the first quarter. As Barlow on the approach, boots a ball, and it's just off to the right, narrowly missing. Another point to Southern Districts. They move to 3-2-20. Nightcliff just the one goal. Yeah, they've just been a little bit clean around the contest at the moment. Their hands are clean. They're sort of one grabbing, whereas Nightcliff a couple of times there in defence just probably should have done a little bit better with the one grabs. As we see Nightcliff now pushing out another one quickly out of defence again. Elliot Power pushes it forward into the hands of Paddy White, who's been really good the last couple of weeks. Looks inside, dribbles it through. Looking for a nice forward entry here now. Cam Isler, who's pushed himself forward and takes a really good mark on the second grab.
So hasn't seemed to be through the midfield very much so much. He's sort of seemed to start in defence and now just pushed himself forward.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do with Cam and Scanlon and a couple of these older guys is give them a spell either forward or back. So I don't mind it from Chris Bucks, the coach, just to it adds another dimension down forward or off half back.
Cam Eilert to open the account for himself. Nightcliff's second goal. Pretty tight angle. I like him from here. I'll back him in. Kick underway. Goal umpire does not move. Straight through the middle. The Nightcliff lads get around him. And Nightcliff moved to 2 goals straight. Southern Districts 3-2-20.
Yeah, no, great work by Cam Eilert. He sort of, as I said, he started across half back. He's pushed himself forward here. Just good run out of defence again. Just the ball got over the back there. Elliot Power just pushed the ball forward there to Paddy White. Sort of just good sort of clean take here. Sneaks back on his right foot. As you always like to see, get the ball inside the middle there. Wasn't a great kick, but they were still good enough to get the ball into Cam Eilert's eyes, and just sort of, as I said, just sort of on that second grab in front of big Freddie Sleeth, took the grab and most importantly went back and kicked the goal.
Frederick Sleeth, he was revved up last week. He's keeping the lid on it so far tonight. I like his work, I like his hairdo, I like everything about him. What a bloke. So we're back in the middle. Lockwood with a nice tap to advantage, although it's all Crocs at ground level with Tambling with the clearance. He's been unbelievable so far. Brown pickpockets. Rosier there. Pops out the back. It's Tim Brook again. He's been okay early. Young Tim Brook. Smith puts on the tackle and the umpire circling and says he will ball it up.
You mentioned the clearances. So far it's 5-3 and Richard Tambling has 4 of those 5. So started really well.
Old Richie boy as the tap goes Jules Lockwood's way. Nightcliff inside 50. Just a bit of a battle going on there. Ball pops out. Beautiful work there from Rokar. Just pops it to Barlow. Barlow goes out wide to McAdam. He's got time and space. Goes with the outside of the boot to Barlow. Eilert does very well to hold that one up. So away then. Bit of a stinker of a kick there from Barlow. Nicky goes back inside 50 for Nightcliff. Here's Cam Eilert. Can he get 2 in a row? Yes, he can. What a weapon. Cam Eilert. He's got himself into the game by pushing forward, and have a look at that. Just in the blink of an eye, he's got 2 quick ones, Jimmy.
Yeah, it was a poor kick from Barlow that turned the footy over, and Coco Nicky just got it deep inside and gave Cam Eilert the opportunity to run onto the footy.
I'm liking this, Timmy. Cam Eilert's put himself forward. Had an immediate impact.
Yeah, sort of, you see the replay here. He's actually setting the mark here on Ed Barlow, and he's sort of just probably a bit lucky in this occasion here. Ed Barlow missed that kick and sort of rushed down forward to try and make a correction to his error. And Cam Eilert there was sort of in the right place there, had a bit of speed and very smart footy to open up the face of the goals and was able to curl it back and kick his second goal in a couple of minutes.
Kyle Emery with a sneaky little handball there to Eilert. We're back underway in the middle. Barlow with the clearance to Scanlon. Here's Paddy White. He's had a bit of a quiet start. Just his second possession coming up. Looks inside to Phil Wills. Wills goes to the extreme outside. Captain Brown puts that one down. He's got time and space. Pops it over the top. Nice looking kick to advantage. Here's Cossack. Puts it inside 50. They go to ground there. Sit on top of it too. Umpire circling. He's going to pay this one. Holding the ball. It is. So Nightcliff just having a good little spell here, although Southern Districts just looking to relieve some pressure through Sam Smith with a nice big kick. It's a good contested mark taken there by Piggott. Piggott, umpire says play on, throws it on the left. That one is out of bounds and will have boundary throw in.
Yeah, he's a bit lazy there by Blake Piggott. Just didn't get back off the mark and, forced himself onto the opposite foot there and just didn't give his forwards any chance at all. But just, you got to make sure you get right back off that mark there so you can kick the ball, get your sort of 45, 50 metre kick deep into your forward line. But just a bit lazy, I thought.
Cam Eilert winning their best and fairest last week at Nightcliff Oval. Last Sunday night is a champion as we're back underway. Ball at centre half forward for Nightcliff. Feel Nightcliff are just starting to work their way into the game here. So the District's panicked with the kick to the outside. Paddy White has got a bit of time up his sleeve, although McAdam hunts him down, but White does extremely well. Hits up a target inside the ground. Well work there. Here's Coco Nicky. Puts boots a ball with a nice kick over the top to Matty Bricknell. Now Bricknell just looking inside, gives a handball off. They get cut off straight away. Oh, they've stunk this one up, Nightcliff. That's dropping the ball. Umpire agrees. So they dodged a bullet there. Nightcliff and Farron James will go back. Have a kick. I know what he's doing here. He'll kick from about 55 out. Man on the mark standing on the 50-metre line. Brody Philo being pretty cheeky, running straight through the middle of a mark, looking for the cheeky handball. Here's James. The big kick. Well, it's off to the right. And Frederick Sleeth. See that one over. Out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, they had a bit of space there to work into, Nightcliff, so they're a little bit patient with the footy. They've got hit-up targets going everywhere, so I think they need to slow it down a little bit going inside.
So Crocs looking to clear this one. Umpire says play on. Bricknell wants that one in. Well, they've done very well here. Bowden, although he's turned it straight over to Jules Lockwood. So Lockwood just having a bit of a look around. It's on the boot, bit of a floater of a kick. Straight through the legs, although here's Brody Philo, 50 out. Don't tell me, Philo from downtown. He gets his first of the night. And just in the blink of an eye, Nightcliff are back in front, 4 goals straight, 24. The Southern District's 3-2-20.
Yeah, we'll see it in the replay here. It's just that beautiful one-grab footy, isn't it? Just nice and clean. Just bought himself a little bit of time and just turned around on that right foot there. But, you know, Jules Lockwood there really turned the ball over really well. Just doesn't quite get underneath this ball. Sort of shanks it, really. And you see Brody Philo there, just a one-hander there. Kicks it outside the 50-metre line, and that carries well and truly through the goals for a beautiful goal there for Nightcliff. And that's 4 goals straight to Nightcliff, 24 to the District's 3-2-20.
Back in the middle, Jared Brennan and Jules Lockwood do battle. Jared Brennan wins that tap. And to advantage. And Nightcliff with the numbers. Perez stands underneath it. Piggott gets a clearing kick. Riley underneath that one. Ball pops out. Handball's over the top. Oh, big crunching tackle. The umpire says we'll throw that one in. Was McLaughlin getting crunched then in this tackle. Bit of ginger getting around out there too, don't mind it. Big tackle there from Riley. So back underway, ball thrown back in. J-Mar with a nice tap over top, just out of Jared Brennan's hands. Wilson does well to hold that one up. Ball tap to advantage. It's Barry and Paris doing battle. And we'll have another boundary throw in. About 20 around, 25 metres around from the Southern District's goal.
And this is all Nightcliff needs to do. They need to make it a contest down this end. Obviously, down the other end, it's really open. So to continue on their way, they need to make sure it's contested in the back half.
Jules Lockwood with the tap down there, only as far as Jared Brennan just pops it straight up in the air. Might work out well. McAdam drops the mark. James sits on top of him. James does well, gets a handball out the back. Here's Phil Wills. Oh, ball cut off by McAdam, puts it inside. Umpire says play on. Not 15. Kick underway is a good one. Southern Districts gets one back through McLaughlin. They move to 4-2-26. Nightcliff, 4 goals straight.
Yeah, Charles McAdam there just with a great turnover there. Just sort of was a beautiful jump in there just to get his hands up on top of the ball. And Dylan McLaughlin there just ran through there, got on the end of the movement and kicked the goal again. So it's pretty exciting and pretty fast game of footy here at the moment as we watch this replay here now.
And Nathan Brown just looped the handball up a little bit, gave Charlie McAdam time to jump up and cut it off, and a great finish there by McLaughlin.
McLaughlin, good work by that man. He's off to a good start. Bit of ginger in the hair by the looks of things. As we're back in the middle. Nice tap down there from J-Mar. Although Nightcliff with the numbers. Coates puts one inside 50. Sleeth does well, nearly takes some mark, although they've Done well here, the Crocs. They just get it outside of there. Cam Wallet underneath this one. It's popped out. Jared Brennan keeps his feet. Phil Wills does well. Brennan shoves him out of the way. Brennan over the shoulder, didn't look. Wills runs over that one. Brennan gets his own ball back. Have a look at this. He's worked that well. Brennan's done extremely well. Here's Rosio gets run down. Umpire says play on. Wilson has a bounce. Gets dragged down. Puts the ball into the middle of the ground. Here's Scanlon. Just pops it over the top. Nightcliff away here. Have a look at this. Kick underway from Cross. It's at the top of the square. Districts with the numbers. That's a high tackle. Umpire says play on. Dropped ball. Some good pressure here from Nightcliff. The spin out of the tackle. Snap on goal. Don't tell me. That is absolutely ridiculous. How does that even happen? Zach Dirksen gets his first for the night. And that was just a comedy of errors.
It was a comedy of errors that turned into a moment of brilliance from Dirksen. He knows exactly where they are. There was a couple of fumbles, a poor inside kick, and young fella Smith just coughed the ball up. Good work from Dirksen, and as I say, knew exactly where they were.
Had a few lead changes here early tonight. But it's Nightcliff now. 5 goals straight. District's 4-2, back in the middle. On 24 minutes. Just nearing on quarter time. Jamar wins his own clearance. Tambling wins a hard ball, pops out to Rory O'Brien, puts it inside 50. Can they get a late one? Nathan Brown gets knocked off the ball off the deck. It's gone out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in just about 10 metres around from the Southern District's goal.
Both teams have had 9 inside 50s in this first quarter, but obviously Nightcliff making the most of the opportunities.
Ball thrown back in. Jamar with the tap out the back. He's been doing that all night. Don't know why they're not trying to shark that one. Philo pumps it outside 50. Bit of a wrestle going on there. Coco Nicky does well. Keeps his feet. Nice Shepherd off the ball. Just a bit of a stinker of a kick. Matty Bricknell runs that one over the line. Have a boundary throw in on centre wing. Big crowd here tonight at TIO Stadium. We had the women's last night, the AFL. Adelaide Crows, of course, beating Fremantle Dockers just by a few points. As you see the women's logos all over the ground. It was a great night here. As the tap goes forward to Paris. He does well, puts on the outside of the boot. Just over the head, Paddy White goes without it. Handball goes over the top. Bit of dancing going on. Ball goes inside to Farah. Just flicks it up in the air, flicks it to himself, taps it to advantage, might get it back. Here's Tambling with the snap style inside. Here's Jared Brennan. And that one's lucky to register a score. So we hear that awkward sounding horn. Didn't sound very well. Sounded a bit crook, actually. Brady Philo doing the kick in duties. Kicks to himself, puts it outside in the Kane Riley direction. Although Crocs with the numbers here. Might be time to get another one. Just over McAdams' head. Here's Wilson, runs onto it, does well. Kicks it to advantage. Here's Coco Nicky, who's been impressive early. Been playing some good football the last few weeks. That's a nice looking kick. Didn't have the guts. And that one's smothered over the line. Have a boundary zone about 50 metres around, and there it is. It's quarter time at TIO Stadium. Preliminary final night. Southern Districts 4-3-27 to Nightcliff. 5 goals straight, 30. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this.
Isn't that a new neighbour?
Yep, pretty sure she's from down south.
She arrived last week. Just had her windscreen broken by a falling coconut.
No. I was at Jingly. Jingly!
If she was with TIO, she'd be talking to a local. Might even be from Jingly.
Am I covered for coconuts?
And it's good to know. TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance offer the option of no excess for windscreen claims.
Jingly coconut curry.
Every day, we go beyond. Beyond running the power networks and beyond providing the water services that sustain life in the Territory. In fact, we're proud to sponsor and partner with the sporting organisations, charities, events and community groups that are essential to every day in the Territory, because we are Power and Water.
So we can feel wherever you feel, together real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
1,300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks. I don't know.
It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Another life saved with the Chemist Warehouse app. Take control of your health and wellness. Download now.
Are you overrun with rubbish and need a skip bin for easy disposal from your garden cleanup, renovation or spring clean? When you think skip bins, think NTRS. NTRS, your friendly, reliable and local waste disposal company.
We're trying to be too cute, don't want to give the first one a roll around step 1, step 2. We're getting nutted and they're kicking easy goals from it, aren't they? Aren't they? All the goals, 3 of their goals are from our turnovers. So we've got to be better at it. Ball slippery, hey, they're not handling the heat too well because you're going at them. One bang, one bang, one bang. You've got to keep going at them, force the game. You've got to be strong mentally. You've really got to be strong to hold tight defensively. When it's offensively, all right, Garbo, when you're running down the wing, don't cut back in too early. Put it out in front of Willie. He's got the fastest legs in the game, and we run onto it. All right, you've got to keep pulling the
haven't they?
Yeah, no, definitely. Ed Barlow, as we see in the screen here, has been fantastic. I said started in the midfield this week, has used the ball most of the time pretty well. Made a few mistakes there, which did cost a goal lately. But, yeah, just their forward line's been fantastic. It's just, obviously, with Willie Ferrer up there is always really dangerous. As I mentioned, having Jared Brennan in the game as well just sort of opens up that forward line. But, yeah, they just missed a few opportunities there. They probably should have taken control a little bit, and Nightcliff get a couple of really quick goals to get himself right back and hit the front.
Shaping up to be a good game. I just feel Paddy White hasn't been in the play as much, and I think I said something in the first quarter about it, but he's one that can really add a lot to Nightcliff, isn't it, Jimmy?
Yeah, he's had a couple of touches, and generally when he gets the footy, he does something with it. So I think with their hit-ups in Bricknell, they've got Paddy White, they've got Kyle Emery. If those three can work in together and just have one going up at the footy and the rest working in behind, it's going to be a pretty dangerous forward line. Having said that, the District's forward line with Jared Brennan, Farrer and a couple others is also pretty dangerous. So it's a pretty evenly contest here.
Jared Brennan, I think he's had a fair bit of it, but he just looks a bit rusty, hasn't he, Timmy? He's just had it with over a month off of the footy, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's normally really aware around the ball, and probably that last one there was a good example where he sort of grabbed the ball and just kicked the ball in the boot. Probably had sort of Rory O'Brien was pretty free just on his right if he had that awareness. His awareness is amazing when you watch him normally. Just sort of, yeah, I think you're right, he just rushed it a little bit early, but Yeah, he's going to get better though as the night goes on, and he's always exciting to watch. I love it.
We have got a game on our hands here as the umpires are just waiting for the young units to get off the ground. Get off the ground, you young units, with their bloody skateboards and whatnot. Have a look at them. The kids, umpires waiting to get the game back underway as the ball's aloft. We're back underway here at TIO Stadium. 4-3-27 to 5 goals straight. Nightcliff. So we're back in the middle. A bit scrappy here early. Ball pops out Eilert. Could have got one in the back. Umpire says play on. Goes to centre half forward. Brown gets taken out of the contest. Umpire said that's okay. Phil Will standing there. We've got a free kick here going the way of Southern Districts through Roe Duggan. For a little man, I don't know who's going to get the distance from here. He's lining up like he's going to. Looks pretty confident.
He's backed himself in here, hasn't he? He's put the ball down. We're about to pull his socks up, but yeah, he must have a big leg on him, I reckon, the young man.
Roe Duggan thought he might just try and give it off. Nah, goes for home. It's a big roost too. It's off to the right, and the first score of the quarter only took 48 seconds. 4-4-28 to 5 goals 30 in Nightcliff. It's Philo to do the kicking in duties. Finds something he likes in Jules Lockwood. Jules Lockwood wheels around. Got long down the line in the Coco Nicky direction. Just might pop out the back. Fox do well just to hold it up. Nicky even better. Gets jumped on by Farah. And that one seen over the line from Kale Cossack. And we'll have a boundary throw in right on centre wing.
Those shots on goal from Roe Duggan, they're the ones that they've got to make the most of. If they continue to miss, it could come back to haunt them.
Ball thrown back in. Excellent hoist that was too. Moo with the slingshot out. Here's Farah. Moo just shoves him over the line. Does well, really does. Little Ryan Moo. Have another boundary throw in.
Matty Rose has been a really important player as well during this game here. Just sort of gets lots of little touches inside early, and he just had that little clearance there. Just kicks it sort of 15 or 20 minutes sometimes, but it just gets that ball going his team's direction.
Jules Lockwood with the tap. Cody Follow works that one out, and we'll have another boundary throwing.
Yeah, it's Matty Rosier there in the bottom of the pack looking for a free kick. Didn't quite get it that time, but yeah, you'll see him on the bottom of the packs all night tonight. And he's always a really exciting player. He always gives his all for his club.
So the ball thrown back into play. Jules Lockwood, Jamar again. Jamar wins that tap down. Ball on the deck. Nightcliff with the clearing kick long down the line. Sleeth underneath that one. They've kept it in. Don't know how that one stayed in. Coco Nicky does well, although it's turned that one over to Ogden. Looks inside. Finds McAdam. McAdam just weighing up his options. Asked to play on. So long in the Jamar direction. Jamar does well to hold Lockwood out. Lockwood does even better. Jamar looks like he was just about to take out Little Moo. That would have been quite disastrous. Never seen little man to the big man like that. Just have a look as he walks past him at half his height.
The central umpire's just come in there and sort of asked the boundary throw in whether it really was there, and he's turned it over there, and it's becoming a throw in now. So the throw-in goes in.
Looked out of bounds on the full to me. Here's Frederick Sleeth with a sweeping handball towards Rosier inside 50. Farah stands under that one, does well, keeps his feet. Knocks it to McLaughlin. McLaughlin over the top. They've gone backwards here. McLaughlin's going to get it back. Now they go inside 50. Eilert stands under it. Could have marked it. Just thumps it over the line. A few players there from Southern Districts asking for deliberate. I think they're having a bit of a bubble bath there with that one. As we see Jamar. Sorry about the rhyming slang there. Jamar electing to go up that one. Let's just have a look at the Southern Districts bench. Farah having a break. Back underway. Snap to the top of the square. Over the top. That's ridiculous. Have a look at that. Great goal from Rosier. And they're back in front, Southern Districts. 5-4-34 to Nightcliff. 5 goals straight.
Yeah, we just sort of spoke about those little possessions which Matty does get, and just it's great ruck work there just to get the ball down to him. But as we do go back to the replay here, we just see it's big Fred Sleeth in the ruck here. Just sort of, you see Rosier sneaking behind him. There's pretty much a set play. There's a natural left footer there, just sort of probably caught out the Nightcliff defenders there, turned around on his left foot there, just snuck it over the top of that pack there, and it dribbled through for a goal for the Southern Districts.
And they needed that because they've had majority of the play for the 5 minutes that this quarter's gone on. So they needed to make the most of it.
Jimmy Driscoll, the statistician, on fire early. Now J-Mar looks like he's going off with the ripped shirt. Not the blood rule, the ripped shirt. Is that a first? Does that happen very often?
Well, I don't know. He's going to maybe get a stitched up on his shirt, but
he's got the rig out as he jogs over. He might get the rig out to change shirts in front of the ladies here at TIO Stadium. Just have a look at me, have a look at me.
Still looking fit enough.
I know.
Anyway.
What a massive unit he is. We're back in the middle. Looks like Josiah Farrer's come back on for him, going forward. Meanwhile, Will Farrer's in the ruck. Ball pops out. McLeod with a sort of flick style handball. And that is holding the pill against Scanlon. So they've done well here. Callum Curry heads out wide to O'Brien. He plays on quickly. The nice looking kick to Barlow. Barlow wheels around. Just puts it into space. To advantage. The ball's on the deck. Up in the air. That's dropping the ball. Umpire agrees. Nightcliff done well to hold them up here. Looking to cross the ball across field to Kane Riley. He marks that one. And that is off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full. McAdam gets over there quickly to claim that one. Just pops it over the top in the Farrer direction, does well. Hard up against the boundary line. Nearly takes out the Water Boy. He just lays down and has a bit of a breather. Searching for the cocktails. Looked at it the way he was laying down there. Looks like he's going to go back and have a set shot. We'll kick from about 48 out. Right on the boundary.
Yeah, for a left footer, I would have thought.
Might work in his favour, the old Buddy Franklin trick. Probably not. Time will tell. Let's have a gaze. Farrer on the approach. And that is no good. I take that back. I know Buddy Franklin will be watching. Buddy, sorry, they haven't brought that up in the conversation. He would be, wouldn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. We're nearly back underway here. Umpires letting Nathan Brown get that one. That's a bit... This is a bit of a joke, really. What's going on here? We just have a look at this mark. As we look as he rolls over it, says the Water Boy, reaches for the cocktail, but it's not there. Anyway, back underway. Kick centre half back. Here's Paddy White. He needs to get a bit more of it. Not like that, though, I wouldn't have thought. Straight out of bounds on the full.
Just spending majority of the time inside the Crocs half here.
Good spoil over there. Here's Jared Brennan, though, just puts it back inside 50, but blazed away. Didn't lower the eyes. Finds Kane Riley. Risky kick, but just works out. Troy Coates takes that mark. Barlow was down his throat. Trying up options here. They have a lot going on here. Wilson makes the lead, ignores that, plays on. With the kick long down the line. Could have been a free kick. Umpire says not on my watch. They're out here, Nightcliff. And plenty of space. Farron James just snaps over the top. Here's Paddy White. He's got players screaming inside 50. And they've worked that well. Jonathan Paris will go back and have a set shot from about 45 out.
Yeah, it's great awareness there by Nightcliff, not to sort of blaze away. We saw at the other end there that you know, the districts are probably blazed away a bit there, just sort of kicking the ball and hoping they'll hit a target. But yeah, really smart footy there to bring the ball inside the middle there. And Matty Bricknell, you know, ran hard for it. He was available as he comes back on there, but he's going to go try and hoping it was him on the end of this one. But John O'Peris from defence ran right down there and gave himself a big opportunity here, and kicks from 45 out. The umpire has not moved. He's jumping around. He's pretty happy, and that's another goal to Nightcliff.
Nightcliff answer back straight away. 6 goals straight, 36 to District's 5-4, 34. 9.5 minutes gone in the second quarter, Jimmy.
Yeah, and that's their first inside 50 for the quarter, and they got 1 goal. So we've spoken about it before in terms of Districts being a little bit inefficient in their forward line, whereas Nightcliff 1 from 1 at this stage, and beautiful work from the Tennant Creek product, Farron James, to hit up Paddy White, and very patient with the footy for Boyo Peris. Good goal.
I'm sure he'd say thank you if he was sitting in here. Jonathan Paris opening up his account. 5-4, 34 to 6 straight. We've got a game on our hands, 10 minutes gone in the second quarter. Ball pops out. Blake Piggott with the clearing kick towards Barlow. Does well with beautiful mark. Looks to move it quickly. And they played 50 here. Just went a bit prematurely. I think it might be against Paris, is it?
One of the Nightcliff players ran through the mark, so...
Like as he was dancing, oh, he runs straight through it.
Kale Cossack.
He did too. So 50 metres. He's him right up. Ned Barlow, you'd think, would get this one. And get it, he does. Now the Districts are back in front. 6-4, 46 straight, 36.
As a coach, that would be very annoying, I'd believe. Like, just those silly little errors in a final just can be so costly, especially when you've got a bit of control back there, and just that lapse in concentration can be so costly as it is here. Like, it's the free kick, they're 70 metres out from goal, suddenly just that little bit of concentration there by Cossack trying to sneak across there gives Ed Barlow the easy shot on goal.
Cossack was asking the question saying, are you serious? Well, yes, buddy, we just saw the replay 2 times, and yes, we are serious. 50 metres every day of the week. Back underway. Big tap there from Jamar to advantage. What's going on here? Is that for a throw? Perhaps. So anyway, kick in the Paddy White direction. Being held on to. Umpire says play on. Oh, big collision down there. And Sam Smith goes, oh, I had your measure, pal. And it's over the line. The boundary throw, and his big Frederick Sleeth just gives him a bit of a tap on the backside and says, 1 goal. Well done, pal. So have a look there. Oh, it's party time, Jimmy.
He's a very good defensive player, Sammy Smith.
Jamar with the tap to Tambling, does well. Dances around a few. Good pressure here from Nightcliff. Ball on the deck, pops out. Here's Coco Nicky, what can he do? Wheels around, spins out of a few. Kicks it backwards, straight to Barlow. And they're out here. Barlow gets it back. Goes with a Bonana. Works well. Drops Mark down there to Staunton. And the umpire says we'll throw this one in on centre wing. We've got a real good contest on our hands here.
Yeah, heat's just gone up a little bit in the last 5 minutes.
It sure has, Jimmy, as the ball's thrown back in. Good tap there from Jules Lockwood. Oh, good effort down there. Well, the ball's popped out here again. Farron James with the handball. Coco Nicky over the top. Cross and out of bounds on the full. So the score stands 6 straight 36 to District 6-4 40. 13 minutes gone in the second quarter. Okay, Nicky just blazed away a bit there. I was just holding the ball up for a moment. Blood rule, is it? So it's a player just coming off the ground. Not sure what the hell's going on.
Boys get a rest anyway. They're probably not 30 minutes in the quarter. It's pretty hot up here tonight, and I'm sure they're enjoying this little bit of a break.
Oh, it was stinking hot today, wasn't it?
It's been a stinker.
Anyway, all back into play. Nightcliff with the numbers. Jules Lockwood does well. Throws the ball on the boot. Looks like this one's going out of bounds on the full. It is. Sam Smith will take this kick. Umpire's going to bring him back across the mark. They were away there. Sam Smith, not the English singer, Southern District's footballer, has the ball in the back pocket.
Not to be confused.
Look the same. Not the same voice though. Long down the line. That's out of bounds on the full. Yes, it is. So Jules Lockwood looking to get this one. He does off his mate Scanlon. Scanlon gives him something. Jules Lockwood ignores that. Barlow did well to cover that one off. Jules Lockwood just goes long and deep to a contest. Ball pops out. Oh, it's a free kick given away. Real sure what that one's for. Usually my man Mark Noonan just messages me willy-nilly with the umpiring decisions, but he's not tonight. He's in the rack for him.
So it's Matty Bricknell in the back there. Sort of looks like he wasn't really in the contest there, but looks like his opponent's had his hands around him, and yeah, very, very lucky. He was just already standing there, but as a result, Matty Bricknell gets a shot on goal here, 30 metres out.
Matty Bricknell gets a goal, and Nightcliff back in front here at TIO. 6-4-40 Southern Districts. Nightcliff, 7 goals straight.
Yeah, pretty lucky free kick, I would have thought. But just goes to show, once you get the ball into that dangerous spot about 25 metres out, anything can happen, and defenders get very nervous. So pretty lucky, but I'm sure they'll take it.
Let's have a look at the replay here.
Yeah, just at the back of the screen there, sort of he was more surprised than anyone, I think, Matty Bricknell. But he's been a really good player for the footy club the whole year. He is a junior from the club, and yeah, he was their leading goal scorer for much of the year. And yeah, he'll be really excited to get the goal as you saw that.
Ball back in the way. Jamar with the new number. He's given away a free kick for blocking out. He's in the 36 now. So Nightcliff move this one quickly. In the Paddy White direction. Coco Nicky underneath that one. Paris does well. Taps it to advantage. Taps it back to Nicky. Nicky with a nice handball. Kick underway over the top. He's just out of the reach. Zach Dirksen and through for a minor. It's the first minor for Nightcliff for the evening. They move to 7-1-43. Southern District 6-4-40.
Lionel Ogden brings it in, kicks the ball to himself and plays on, tries to kick the ball as far away from those goals as possible. And Ed Barlow there trying to beat 3 people on his own. Looks like he might have done the same thing here as he's earned the free kick. He's been fantastic all night. He plays on really quick to another good player for Districts tonight in Matty Erosia. Gets the ball over the top. Let him run. Farah, he's taking off here with those yellow boots, swinging around. If he can take the ball cleanly, just can't take it. 2-3 grabs. Going to get stuck on that right foot. Didn't want to kick the ball. Smith pushes around, gets on the right foot. Farah in front, drops what he should have grabbed. They've still got a chance here, working to the front, but they've hooked it again. And I think that was Jake Rowe Duggan who sort of kicked his second point for the night. Yeah, nice fast moving there from Districts, but not good enough to finish the goal.
So ball kicks back in. Here's Scanlon, plays on. Bit of a shank. We don't like that. That ball pops over. Scanlon gets it back. And that's a lot better, that kick. Dirksen drops what he should have taken. Tries to flick it to advantage. Have a look at that for movement. Have a look at this man. Philo kicks it long down the line. To advantage again. Here's Eilert. What can he do? Have a look at that for a Chisler. Paddy White puts the mark down. Southern Districts at ground level through Dylan McLaughlin. Pops it out to Rory O'Brien. He's got time and space. He goes long down the line, sort of a nothing kick. Kane Riley does well. Gets a handball over the top. And they're away again. Kick goes long down the line. Dirksen with the awkward jump. And here they go, inside 50. What can Nightcliff do? Beautiful hands by this man. Matty Bricknell centres the ball to Cam Eilert. And he can, I think, will line up for his third.
He will, and a little bit slippery out there, I'd say. By the way, a few chest marks are going down and might be a little bit greasy with the humidity, but the way that Nightcliff worked the ball back there and got it into the hands of Cameron Eilert was pretty impressive.
Cam Eilert to extend their lead to 8 points. Kick on the way. It's across the face. Through for a minor.
Yeah, great contested mark there by Matty Bricknell. We said how he probably didn't really deserve the last one, but that was a great mark in a one-on-one contest.
So 90 minutes gone in the second quarter. Nightcliff, it's been an arm wrestle all night. Hopefully that continues for the rest of the evening. The winner, of course, to play the Buffs next week. As they're out here, Dylan Barry wheels around on the left. Puts it out here to Curry. He just pops it over the top. Will Farah charges along with a nice kick. Look at that. Ed Barlow takes the mark, plays on. Didn't straighten up. Did not straighten up. Probably would have gone to Bonana in that case, Jimmy.
Bonana, I think they're going to rue these opportunities that they've missed. 3 or 4 now.
Here's Sean Wilson. Ed Barlow stands on the mark. Could have slammed that one through. Put him back in front. Here's Kane Riley. Been pretty good tonight. Down back. Pops it over to the captain in Nathan Brown. He's just weighing up his options. Just to go long down the line towards Coco Nicky, and Coco Nicky sees that one over and will have a boundary throw it.
Yeah, Bowden tried to keep the ball alive there, just snuck it back behind him. But yeah, it's been a pretty exciting 20 minutes here. Districts had that, probably first 5-6 minutes in their forward line there, and just couldn't get the score on the board. Nightcliff at the other end, they're really efficient when they go forward and they're kicking those goals. But as you said there, Districts want to start kicking a few here.
Back underway. This is a nice handball over the top. Suddenly Districts are at half forward. Kane Riley taps it to advantage. No, cut off. It's a nice sweeping handball. Ball goes inside 50 now with a chisel, and a good one too to Dylan McLaughlin. He's directly in front. Will probably kick from about 45 metres out. And this will put Southern Districts back in front.
Yeah, he hit the goal in the first quarter. He's been pretty good up there, been attacking the players and the ball, the good forward line pressure. But yeah, it's a really important kick here, just going into half time.
Dylan McLaughlin. Put him in front. That stinker of a flute thing's going, and have a look, he has put him back in front. Districts. They move to 7-6, 48. Nightcliff 7-2, 44. 21 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need to do. Just finish off, and they'll make Nightcliff play, because we look at 13 shots on goal compared to 9 and only a 4-point difference. So need to make sure that when they get these uncontested marks inside forward 50, that they finish exactly how Dylan McLaughlin did there.
Big kick from the little man. A good effort from that far out. Back in the middle. Won't be too long to go left in this second quarter. It's Jamar, the new 36 on the ground. Eilert with the clearing kick to centre half forward. Fox should clear this one. And the mark there taken by Ogden. He moves it sideways. Just chipping the ball around here. This is Piggott. Gets up the target. Does well. Plays on with a nice little handball. We're back inside 50. Farah from the back. Ball on the deck. Kane Riley in pursuit. Does well, does Kane Riley. Could have been a throw. All it goes with the one hand. Gets wrapped up. That's holding the ball. That is holding the ball. So Jake Rowe-Duggan goes back, just weighing up his options. Would have thought that little man has it in his pins to get the ball through for a goal from there.
Reckon you said that last time when he made the distance, so
yeah, I'll just
see how he goes here.
Myself here, haven't I? Kick underway. Here's a booming kick too. Oh, it's just hit the post. So a poster it is. They move to 7-7, 49. Nightcliff 7-2, 44. Nearly 24 minutes gone in the second quarter as Philo with the long kick. And it looks like he's stepped on the line. He has. So the umpire's bringing it back as Jimmy Driscoll drops the pen and shakes his head in disbelief. You can't believe it, Jimmy.
God, it's the little things like this that Coach Killers obviously. So gives Districts another chance to have a shot on goal.
Ball thrown back up. Farah with the clever tap down to Barry. Kane Riley with the big punch out of the way. Tambling does well get boot to ball. That one's gone across the face. Might work out though. That is what you call an effective kick. Rory O'Brien takes a mark in the opposite pocket and will go back and look to extend their lead to 11 points. Extraordinary work there.
Sort of kick, do you think?
I think he would have thought he would have gone to banana from there. Let's have a look. He's holding the ball in the banana style. As the banana is underway. And the banana is through for a goal. Jimmy Driscoll. We called it. They've extended their lead to 11 points. Fantastic work. 8-7-55 to 7-2-44. 25 minutes gone in the second quarter. Possibly. Jimmy, correct me if I'm wrong. Biggest lead of the night.
I'm not too sure, but
Red King can't do that one.
This has all come about due to Philo stepping over the line. A simple mistake such as that, shot on goal, and ultimately gives them another 6 points. They go ahead by 11 now, so he'd want to make up for it, young Bridie.
Yeah, we speak about their first goal of this quarter. If we go back to that, it was a 50-metre penalty as well. So that's 2 goals that have really gifted them tonight.
Back in the middle, Jamar does a little jig out of the way, gets it off to Brennan. Brennan held on to after he kicked it. Ball inside 50 for Crocs. Here's Richie Tambling, does well. Handball straight to Eilert. Eilert gets dragged down without the pedal. Umpire says play on. Kick comes out in the Philo direction. Gets it to advantage. They've done well here. Philo might get it back. Good pressure here from Piggott. Gets a handball out. Kick underway. Eilert goes through the legs. And here they go. Staunton with the kick inside 50. Plenty of numbers. Here's Ed Barlow. Just charges through. He's held on to without it. Umpire says play on. Nightcliff with the numbers though there. Ball pops out. And Eilert. Oh, he's taken the mark. As young Staunton looks to move it quickly. Hands in the back there from Moo. Play on. In the Farah direction. 2-on-1 flies. Umpire says play on. Ed Barlow with beautiful shake and bake from Ogden and straight over the goal. Umpire's hat. And they've extended the lead again late in the second quarter. 9-7-61 to Nightcliff. 7-2-44.
Yeah, some great work there by Callum Curry. Some really clean takes here on the wing, which sort of set that play up there. They've pushed some dangerous players down there in the forward line at the moment, just sort of really getting their hands on the ball. As we watch the replay here, sort of nice sort of dangerous area here. Willie Farah just can't quite time his jumps tonight, just sort of really jumping early, but Ed Barlow, as I mentioned, just sort of pushed forward. The beautiful big dummy there. Loved it too. Look at the hand in the air. Ed Barlow says, good kick, buddy. Nice goal.
Shake and bake. Extraordinary work. But back in the middle, big Mark Jamar's just having a bit of a yarn in the 36. Doesn't have the rig out anymore in the old jumper. Jamar with the tap. Umpire's picked out a free kick here. It's the non-officiating umpire. On to Scanlon. No, sorry, it's coming back to McLeod. He just puts it long and deep inside 50. Paddy White stands under it. Umpire says play on. Must have been touched off the boot. Frederick Sleeth with the sweeping handball. They've worked it well, have the Crocs. Looks like they've just turned it up a notch. Tambling puts the ball inside. Done real well here. Callum Curry switches it across the ground again to Lionel Ogden. He has a bounce. Puts inside 50. Have a look at this. Barry all by himself. Drops the mark. He's had a stinker. He was all by himself. That's holding the ball as well. Umpire says play on. Ball pops out. They might get a goal anyway. Chips it over the top. But Nightcliff with the numbers. Paddy Cossack. Sorry, Cale Cossack takes that one. Puts it long outside and Jared Brennan just gets rid of one. He's given away the free kick to Jared Brennan. So they've done well, Nightcliff. Ball pops out. They need a late one here, you would have thought. And Troy Coates should have attacked the ball more in that occasion. Dylan McLaughlin was good enough to get a fist to it and get it over the line.
We see the free kick here, but Dylan Barry just had that one spent beforehand there. Just that's, to me, is just good body work there. And Jared Brennan's a strong man and just pushed him aside. A bit unlucky again to get... there was the head one there, though. How do you explain that?
The Falcon, as Troy Coates puts it inside 50. Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Oh, hands are
I
up.
thought that was a mark. Oh, the umpire says...
No, sorry, buddy.
Oh, geez, Paddy White. Geez, that hurts. I thought that was a mark. Controversy on half-time as they're going on with it off the ball a bit. But it's Southern Districts 9-7-61 to Nightcliff 7-2-44. We'll be back with the second half right after this.
Isn't that the new neighbour? Yep, pretty sure she's from down south.
She arrived last week. Just had her windscreen broken by a falling coconut.
No. I was at Jingly. Jingly!
If she was with TIO, she'd be talking to a local. Might even be from Jingly.
Am I covered for coconuts?
And it's good to know. TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance offer the option of no excess for windscreen claims.
Jingly coconut curry.
Did you know that somewhere in Australia a fresh keg of Carlton Draft is changed every 46 seconds? It's that fresh.
Carlton Draft, it's that fresh, baby.
Life, so full of surprises. But you don't want a headache to be one of them. Get Panadol Rapid from Chemist Warehouse. It's absorbed 2 times faster than regular Panadol tablets, so you won't miss life's special moments. Panadol Rapid. When pain is gone, life takes its place. Available at Chemist Warehouse for the lowest prices guaranteed.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more! Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience. Dedicated sports zones, men's performance, lifestyle, basketball. All new women's zone from running to yoga. And Intersport Kids Zone. All ages, performance footwear and apparel. Plus the new dedicated football zone. All year for all codes. For awesome service and advice, come in and see us. The all-new Intersport concept store, Casuarina Square.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere. Flight Centre.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. We're just about to get underway. We're at Southern Districts 9-7-61 to Nightcliff 7-2-44. We have got a game on our hand. Southern Districts just getting the better of them late in that quarter. Hey, Timmy.
Yeah, no, I guess it's through their midfield strength. Barlow, Rosier, Tambling, all been fantastic tonight. Obviously, Big J-Mo and the Ruck's been given them the first use. So I reckon it's going to be really important this second half to see Nightcliff get their hands on the ball a little bit more. But I guess it's that efficiency at the moment which is going to trouble Districts. They've sort of kicked those 7 points. Probably 5 or 6 of them they probably should have kicked. They've actually probably missed a few too many chances. But yeah, it's going to be a really tight game. And Nightcliff, yeah, they're a dangerous side, and look out for them.
Cam Islet's in the middle, Jules Lockwood, Brody Philo. They've started with the guns. Meanwhile, Tambling and Barlow for the Crocs. So ball gets thrown up and wrapped up straight away. It was an eventful half-time here at TIO Stadium. We just snuck in to the corporate box next door. And big Michael Solomon, cheerio to you, my friend, turns 38. Who would have thought he's 38 today? He gave me some birthday cake, so thanks very much to the big chief. As we're back, balls goes up towards half flank. They've done well here. Farah just pops it out in front of him, gets it himself. Kick on the way to the top of the square to his brother. Off hands and through. Rush through for a behind. So Southern Districts a bit of early attacking, starting where they left off in that second quarter as Philo with the kick over the top does well. Jonathan Paris plays on, goes down the line. They're away here through Joel Cross on the outside of the boot. Bit of a stinker, might work though. Coco Nicky taps it to Patrick White. He goes through the legs. Bit of dancing. Have a look at this. It's across the face, is it? No, it's just marked right in the goal square. A good mark taken there to Sam Smith. He goes to the big unit in Frederick Sleeth. Just working it around here. Southern Districts in control. It's a nice kick straight down the middle. The Tambling, he does a Bonana. Kicks it out to McAdam. He's got room and time. Kicks it inboard. Dropped mark. Kane Riley there. Bit of a breakdance style. Kick underway to the top of the square. Goes through. You've got to be kidding. I've never seen a man break dance and kick a goal, Timmy.
Yeah, Jake Duggan, we've said to it a few times, he's backed himself every time outside that 50. He's missed the 2 set shots, but yeah, it's a great almost one-handed take there. He looks a bit confused himself here at the moment, but it was great break dancing.
I've not seen break dancing like that since like the Run DMC days back in the late 90s.
Run DMC and Salt and Pepper. Didn't see their head spin though, but
I'm on a musical journey here. Have a look at this. Just got have a look at that at the back. Bit of DJing here from Timmy, and straight through for a goal. That is extraordinary work from Ro Duggan. So we're back in the middle. See umpire Mark Noonan talking to the umpire in the middle of the ground now. I'm loving that. I haven't heard from Noons tonight. Looking forward to his comments on the umpiring soon. Barlow with the handball that's cut off. Farron James might work out here. Here's Paris. Kick underway. They need a quick goal, and it's through for a behind. So Nightcliff, they move to 7-3-45. Southern Districts 10-8-68. 3 minutes gone in the third quarter. As geez, they're away pretty easy here. Southern Districts really easy. This is too easy, although they've turned it over. Straight down the throat of Sean Wilson. Under no pressure too. They might turn it over again as Farah gets the kick and he's turned it over. So it's just a bit of turnover central here. Kane Riley's ran across the mark. He puts it out to advantage to Brody Fowler. He drops the mark. Gets held off it. Could have been sliding below the knees on Paris. The umpire says play on, and Farah doesn't quite hold that, or he holds it with his leg. Umpire says play on. I would have thought that was a mark, and now the umpire's called it back and said he'll ball it up. I thought that could have been a mark. If we have a look at the replay, looks like he pops up. Oh no, it's like Kane Riley had a bit of it as well. He just held it between the knees as we're back underway. Brenda, have a look at that for tap work. Not the best finish though. Through for a minus score through Dylan Barry.
He's been pretty good, Dylan Barry. He's been really dangerous up forward there. He's got the one goal, but probably could have kicked 2 or 3. He's one of those guys who's definitely produced lots of chances for the team.
Jules Lockwood puts down a mark he should have taken. Gets it over. Ed Barlow cuts this one off. Have a look at this work. Roe Duggan just chisels it over. Might work out. Nathan Brown. He's been pretty good tonight, although he's turned this one over. Have a look at this. They got all the numbers, although beautiful tackle from Paddy White. Wrapped up McAdam. They were away then. Paddy White, he's been a bit quiet tonight, but he did well enough to wrap that one up.
Yeah, Paddy White, coach of the Nightcliff under-18 team. They got done this afternoon, their prelim final, so I'm sure he's trying to revenge that this afternoon, this evening.
So back in action. Have a look at this. Too much time and space, and they've just blazed away. Geez, they're wasting their opportunities here, Jimmy.
They are, and Nightcliff would want to start to use the footy a little bit better going forward as well if they're to get back into this game.
So as it stands, 25 points. So back. They've done well here. McAdam goes after that one. Miss Paris gets a handball out, but it's chopped off. Southern Districts with all the answers so far. Kane Riley with a nice spoil. I would have thought it was a spoil.
Yeah, pretty stiff. He's been pretty solid all night, Kane Riley.
So the switch is on. Ed Barlow receives, just chips it over the top. Matthew Rosier, time and space, centres the ball over the head. Pretty lucky here, Nightcliff. Hands out to Jules Lockwood, and he's good enough. Gets it out to Cossack. He winds around, lowers eyes. They've worked this well. Handball's off. Now here's Powell, gets run down but gets a kick away. Coco Nicky, he looks lively, pops it over the top. They've worked this very well. Kyle Emery will go back and have a set shot on a pretty difficult angle, but they definitely need a goal here, Jimmy.
Certainly do. He's a beautiful kick of the footy, Kyle Emery, so I'll back him to kick it, but they need to be a lot more efficient going forward. They're dropping simple chest marks and not hitting targets, so they need to be a lot cleaner with the footy.
Kyle Emery. Can he keep Nightcliff in touch with the slow, deliberate approach? Gets up to the 50. Kick underway is across the face. Still in, no chance here for Nightcliff. Ball's gone up in the air, and it's just scraped in for a behind. So Nightcliff, they move to 7-4-46. Southern Districts 10-10-70. 7 minutes gone.
Lionel Ogden kicks the ball in. He's been great back there tonight. Just that great run. Every time he gets the ball, he just sort of takes off. But yeah, another kick out of defence there towards the big man in Freddie Sleeth. He just sort of, yeah, good 70-metre game there for Districts, and there'll be another throw in there on the far side of the ground.
Frederick Sleeth running it out with Cam Oller there, did well. Big Sleethy with the rat tail sort of style mullet. I love that. It's probably hairstyle of the year for mine. Hope they get some mention at the Nichols Medal tomorrow night. Back on the way, Cossack does well. Puts the ball inside 50. They fly from the back. Crocs with the numbers. Or could be pinged for holding the ball. Umpire says play on. Cam Oll in pursuit, does well. Wraps up Sam Smith. Puts a bit of heat on. Just tightening up a bit here. They've got the numbers again. Brody Philo dances around one. Centres the ball. Paddy White underneath it. Umpire says play on. But Crocs again with the numbers. And Lionel Ogden with a nice kick. Finds Brennan. Brennan switches the play. He's got an absolute panic here. And numbers 2, McAdam. Gives it back to Bowden. They've done this well. And have a look at that. That's just an absolute waste. And a bit of a stinker, Jimmy.
It is. And that's the run that they missed last week. With Bowden having to play on Sambono last week, his run off half-back was really lacking. So tonight he's made up for that, and starting on Paddy White and then really working off him. So he's been a feature.
Ball thrown back in. Got a bit wayward. Brennan with the tap, did well, got it forward. And that one's out of bounds on the full for Nick Roker. So Nightcliff will look to reload. Phil Wills plays it quickly to Scanlon. The old fit unit. He finds Paris. He switches it across. Dangerous kick, but works well. Kane Riley, they're away here. Coco Nicky. And they're screaming for it inside. Beautiful Chisler. Have a look at that. Matthew Bricknell takes the mark. Will hopefully keep Nightcliff in touch.
Yeah, just a bit silly there by Zach Smith. He sort of just left his man behind there and then just ran forward to stand the marker. In that sort of situation there, you really need your forward line players to run forward, and, you know, he just should have stayed back on his defender and just made the ball carrier make a decision. But, you know, that poor decision to me gives Matty Bricknell a shot on goal.
Matty Bricknell on the approach. They need a goal here, Nightcliff. And they've got it. Well done, Matty Bricknell. Nightcliff stay in touch. They move to 8-4, 52. Southern Districts 10-10. 18-point deficit.
Yeah, they've definitely played in spurts tonight, Nightcliff. They had these little runs where they kick their 2 or 3 goals really quickly. It's just about being consistent here. But you'll see here when Paris gets the ball off the half-back there, just comes in the middle here. You see coming forward there, just sort of ran forward to stand the mark and just left his man, Zach Smith, who, you know, over the back here, just gave him all that time and space to make a really good decision and hit Matty Bricknell up, who's a good celebrator, good goal kicker, and kicks his second for the evening.
Yeah, and that's the uncontested footy that's going to get them back into the game. So if they can continue to do that, they'll definitely be in the contest.
They had a big quarter last week against St Mary's, which knocked St Mary's out. Can they do the same here as Southern Districts go forward? And Kane Riley stands underneath. It takes a strong mark in front of Southern Districts player in Ed Barlow. They just held up here for the moment. As Paris looks for options, goes long in the Paddy White direction. It's being held on to. Umpire says that's all right. It's out of bounds on the full. Thought that might have been a free kick to White. Anyway, we're back underway. Here's Staunton. Plays on to the dangerous spot. Good contest there with Farah and Cossack, and Wills taps that one over the line. We'll have another mandatory throw-in.
Yeah, it's definitely something I think Willie Farrell is now, you know, is pushing towards 7 quarters of finals footy. He's still to kick a goal. He just, to me, looks a little bit lost. He just can't time his jumping there. Whether it's the delivery, I'm not sure, but it's definitely, you know, the leading goal scorer of the competition needs to find a way to get involved in these finals games.
J Mark taps it straight to Paddy White. That's a good mark, contested mark there for Nick Roker. Farah on the fat side if he wants. Ignores that. Goes to the other. Farah pops out the back. Here we go. Have a look at that. You called it. Jeez. Farah gets a goal. His first of his finals campaign. Move to 11-10, 76, 8-4-52 Nightcliff. 12 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Yeah, it might be just exactly what he needed. It wasn't sort of the traditional mark. It was just that running behind the contest and it just landed in his lap. But yeah, as I said, I think he's such an important player to the team, and obviously defenders sort of go to him, which means other players come into the game. But you see, he just sort of comes from the back there, sort of drifting in, isn't in the contest. He jumps up at the contest. Just as all defenders say, the ball can't get over the back, and as a defender, you want to give it the big punch, get it going forward. It's stuck over the back, and Willie Farah gets that first goal and maybe finds that bit of form he needs.
Back in the middle, Cam Islets just in pursuit. McLeod, Cam Islets, I think, giving away a free kick for in danger. So going the way of the Crocs. Alex are moving on quickly. Inside 50 again. Farah flies. He just ran underneath that one. Wilson with the clearing handball to Wills, to Riley. Pretty quick for a big man. Just pops it into space in the Islet direction. He went without it. Cam Islet needs to work a bit more into this game, you would have thought. They've stuck that one in. Pops out. They wrapped up. And the umpire says he'll throw that one up.
Yeah, it hasn't had a huge influence on the game, Camiola, but being the player that he is, you know that he's going to come into it at some point.
Yeah, I reckon definitely the district midfielders had the better run tonight. With Scanlon hasn't had much of the ball. Islet's had a few up forward, but yeah, that tackling pressure of that Rosier and the Tamlings have been so dangerous tonight.
Back here, they've danced around one ball inside 50 over the back. Jules Lockwood, although well worked from Sam Smith there. They've worked this very well. The defense has held up well, though. That is an absolute stinker of a kick. Can't quite see who that was.
Your man,
Well, was it
Frederick Sleeth.
Nah, come on, Frederick. You got to do better than that, pal.
His rat's tail got in his eyes.
I think that actually might have happened, Jimmy. It might have happened. As you have a look there as Paddy White takes a mark. Can he convert?
He needs to.
Brody Philo looking for a cheap one. That one's ignored. It's Paddy White with the slow approach. Kick just inside the 50. That's underway. Looks like it's across the face. Oof. Hits the post. Extraordinary scenes. 11-10-76 to Nightcliff 8-5-53. There's the Crocs. Turned it over again. How about this? Eilert all by himself. Done well there just to hold the mark up. But have a look. Eilert, doesn't quite get there. Barlow does well to make it a contest. Gets him out of the way. Barlow does well. Handballs it across. Advantage on. We're back in the middle. Scanlon just off a step, does it well, and they'll have another set shot.
Yeah, Troy Coates here, plays on the left foot there, has had a pretty quiet night. He's one of those players I think who needs to really start getting his hands on the ball a little bit more, but yeah, there goes that rushing again. It's probably just whether he didn't think he had the distance if he went back normally, but just rushed to play there. But to me, that's where the area that Nightcliff need to improve. Get their hands on the ball in the midfield there. Just there's so much pressure from Southern Districts. They're just really making it hard for Nightcliff at the moment.
Ball thrown back into play. Jules Lockwood with the tap down. Coco Nicky swarming around like a bee out of his hands. Ball back on the deck. Sleeth just runs through a few and then turns it over. I love Sleethy. He's a big unit. Have a look at this, although it's working in Nightcliff's favour. No, Jamar cuts that one off and just bombs it out of the way. We've got a race on our hand. Phil Wills gets one in the back. It says play on. That's extraordinary work. Nathan Brown just pops out. That was a throw. Riley in pursuit gets kicked out of the way again. And that one, it's just across the face. So lucky there, Nightcliff.
They were, and the work of the Districts boys just to keep it going forward as Phil Wills gets smashed in the back.
It's a free kick.
They've done that pretty well all night, Districts, just wheeled the ball forward and eventually get a shot on goal.
So here's Paris. Had Moo on offer. Moo's been a bit quiet tonight. I'd like to see that little man get into the game. There's Eilert. That's the ball. He's got time. Just pops it over to Philo. Nick Rokar stands the mark. Here's Moo, the man of speak. Drops a mark. He's under pressure here. Does well though, the little unit. Pops the ball out. They've turned it over. Crowd didn't like that one. Kick off a step. It's just through for a point to Michael Bowden. 17 minutes gone in the third quarter. Nightcliff really need a goal. That one, is that in or out? Might be coming straight back in. Phil Wills saw that one over. Southern Districts go back inside 50. Just weighing up the options. Puts it in there now. Could have been a push out. It is against Farah. So Cossack did well there. Goes backwards to Philo. Umpire says not 15. That's a good looking kick if it comes off. Paddy White. Could have been a free kick. It is. Sleethy not really, and 50. Well, Jared Brennan's giving him a bait too. Could be a double 50, Bell.
Watch your mouth.
Keep a lid on it, Jared. Keep a lid on it, buddy. As he gets marched up to centre half forward, Paddy White. A bit of momentum. Kick on the way is a good one. No, it's just out of the hands. Oh, it's a free kick for in the back. So pretty lucky there at Nightcliff. And the free kick going the way of Troy Coates.
Yeah, it's about the same place as he was last time. He sort of played on there on his left foot and just didn't quite hit the ball properly. But as we go back to the Paddy White one there, just probably had their eyes off the ball there. Coming into the ball was Dill McLaughlin, and he earned the free kick there. And I think it was just a not the good delivery back, which led to a 50-metre penalty.
Troy Coates with the kick over the back. Through for a minor. 19 minutes gone. You feel they just need a couple here late. 8-6-54 to 11-12-78.
Lionel, you can see his calf there just biting into his leg there. It looks a bit of pain, the poor bugger. Oh, it's like the end of a marathon, those guys who just can't move.
Oh, gee, you can see it's cramping up. Jeez, what's going on there?
Don't laugh at the poor buddy.
I'm not laughing. You're the one laughing, pal. As we just had a lot, I don't know what's going on there. Some sort of teenage mutant ninja turtle.
Bit of high-intensity footy for 2 weeks, I think, has caught up with him.
That's like me when I get out of bed. No wonder.
He's still pushing up against the fence there. Get him off. He can't get off. He's a long way from there.
Oh, they're giving away 50 as well. Geez, undisciplined stuff here.
Look at him running off.
They go on Ogden. If we can get on Ogden Camp while the 50s, while the 50s happening. Absolutely extraordinary work.
Oh, paid it incorrect.
Oh,
his own teammates actually thrown it back to him.
Now I think that happened last week as well. You can't pay 50-metre penalties if you didn't see it. You clearly didn't see it, Jimmy.
No.
Anyway, it's too late. What would we know?
Lionel's all right. Lionel's going to have a stretch on the fence there.
Jeez, he can barely walk, the poor fella, as I said. I take my hat off to him, and all athletes for that matter. I'm a fat, skinny kid, and me getting out of bed looks like that. For everyone playing at home, yes, I am single. I wonder. Anyway, back underway, they centre this ball. This handling has been absolutely unbelievable all night. Oh, lucky there. Very lucky there.
Talking about Tamling, I think their ability to win the ball on the inside and then have pace on the outside districts is what has led them to being in front by 4 goals.
Here's Farrow's just got one in the back too, and the umpire's paid it. Went with the hip, but it got him right in the back against Cossack.
He's just a really hard player to run. You sort of see there, he sort of goes for the 2-footed jump, and it's sort of, I think sometimes defenders get caught out. They wait for that 1-foot jump like normal footballers normally tend to do, and he sort of gets there and stops, and in that position there, he sort of just ran into his back, and I think it was actually the one coming from the other end which clipped his ear, but yeah, this could be 2 for the quarter.
Will Farrer. Have a listen to that. Horn thing as Will Farrer gets a goal. Gets his second for the evening. And Southern Districts kick away 12-12-84 to Nightcliff 8-6-54. We're out to a 5-goal margin, Jimmy.
Yeah, we are. And we spoke about District's ability just to get the ball forward. And as you speak of, Timmy, he's a dangerous player, Willie Farrer. If you get it in long and deep, he can sit on your head. He can jump 2 metres in the air and take an uncontested mark. So they're obviously pretty worried about him, and that's what drew the free kick. And pretty dangerous for him to get a couple of goals this quarter and get a little bit of confidence back.
So Nightcliff, you would have thought, need one late here just to stay in touch. Good contest in the middle. Sam Smith, not the singer, gets the clearance. Just a bit scrappy here in the middle. A few bodies starting to get a bit tired, you would have thought. Paddy White cuts that one off, does well. Gets a handball back to Eilert, and there it is. It's 3-quarter time. It's a 5-goal margin, 12-12-84 Southern Districts. Nightcliff, 8-6-54. We'll be back with the last quarter right after this.
Isn't that the new neighbour?
Yep, pretty sure she's from down south.
She arrived last week. Just had her windscreen broken by a falling coconut.
No. I was at Jingly. Jingly!
If she was with TIO, she'd be talking to a local. Might even be from Jingly.
Am I covered for coconuts?
And it's good to know. TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance offer the option of no excess for windscreen claims.
Jingly coconut curry.
Did you know that somewhere in Australia a fresh keg of Carlton Draft has changed every 46 seconds? It's that fresh.
Carlton Draft, it's that fresh, baby.
Life, so full of surprises. But you don't want a headache to be one of them. Get Panadol Rapid from Chemist Warehouse. It's absorbed 2 times faster than regular Panadol tablets, so you won't miss life's special moments. Panadol Rapid. When pain is gone, life takes its place. Available at Chemist Warehouse for the lowest prices guaranteed.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience. Dedicated sports zones, men's performance, lifestyle, basketball. All new women's zone from running to yoga. And Intersport Kids Zone. All ages, performance footwear and apparel. Plus the new dedicated football zone. All year for all codes. For awesome service and advice, come in and see us. The all-new Intersport concept store, Casuarina Square.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere. Flight Centre.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium, where it's Districts 12-84 to Nightcliff 8-6-54. I just felt Districts just put them on the ground and put the throat in, Jimmy.
I don't know about putting the throat in, but they put their foot into the throat. Yeah, they did. And their pressure and run around the footy has been pretty impressive tonight. Richie Tamley, again, has been exceptional. Jared Brennan's come into the game a little bit. Ed Barlow was super. Matty Rosier, those blokes, they can win the ball on the inside and they've got speed on the outside. Whereas Nightcliff with the older boys in Scanlon, Eilert, don't really and Coates don't really have that leg speed on the outside, and I think that's getting them caught on a little.
That's what we need. We need to see a bit more speed, as Jimmy just said to me, don't we? What do you think about moving into the midfield, or what do you do if you're Bucksy?
Yeah, I guess, you're talking now, so, this could be the last quarter of the year. They've got to try something. They've got knocked out in the prelim last year, and, someone like a Coco Nicky, as you said, or Ryan Moo, maybe even Kane Riley, just sort of throw someone in the middle who's got that bit of speed and, just try and stretch something this year a little bit. To me, I agree exactly that it's that midfield pressure which they're not getting from those older bodies. They're great players, but you just need to have a good mix in there, and I don't think they've got that mix at the moment. Kane Riley
he's a big man, but he's quick, and we've seen the Buffs do it, haven't we, throughout the last few weeks especially, move a big-bodied like another ruckman or a Shillaby into ruck, and it really works well for them.
It does, because it makes the opposition think about how they're balanced up inside there, and I think Kane Riley, he's been exceptional all night, and you've sort of got to roll the dice. So I think that'd be my move, is get him in there, another big body around the ball that can win it on the inside and put tackling pressure on and run and carry on the outside. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do here, as Sean Wilson's gone inside by the looks of things, and Philip Wills. So yeah, change things up a bit to start off this quarter anyway.
And I was obviously getting a little bit dangerous too. We spoke about during that quarter there. Willie Farrow's got a couple of goals, and he's definitely one. If District are going to win the premiership, let alone get through tonight, he's definitely one who's got to step up for him.
We're just about to get back underway, as we have the same problem. Those pesky kids still on the football field. The umpire's just having a bit of a look around.
And just so everyone knows, Lionel's still stretching on the bench. Trying to stretch that calf out. I'm just looking down there now. He's still pushing and giving the high five to the crowd and those kids walking past him. But yeah, he's really enjoying his stretching in the crowd.
I've never seen a leg so carved up, being overworked. Who's going to meet the Buffs next week in the grand final? At this stage, it looks like the Crocs at Nightcliff need to get the opener here. They've done well. Wilson gets a handball, the old 1-2. But Crocs again with the numbers and the answers through Tambling. Winning the hard nut. Oh, it's popped out. Here we go. Kick inside. Look at that. Coco Nicky takes a great mark on the burst. He could have kept going and slammed the goal home, but has elected to go back and have a look at it.
Yeah, wise move, I think. Yeah, it's one thing that's worked well for Nightcliff tonight is when they've actually had some composure with the footy, they've looked really dangerous. So Matty Bricknell, beautiful kick inside to Coco Nicky, and he can head back and kick his second.
Coco Nicky's been pretty handy tonight. As Jimmy just drops, lining up for his second. Down by 5 goals. They need this one. They get the opener, much needed. The margin back to 24 points. Nightcliff 9-6, 60 to Southern Districts 12-12, 84.
Yeah, just looking at those matchups, we spoke about the changes which they have made, and Brody Philo has pushed right down there in the forward pocket next to Troy Coates as their 2 main forwards. So, yeah, it's worked that first contest. They put a bit of speed around the ball there, and they had a bit of run, which was really important. And I reckon it's a great move here by Nightcliff to try and change it up a little bit and try and win this game. And they've given themselves every chance to get in the first goal in that first minute and a bit.
Cam Ollett's gone. He's off half back. Raimu on the wing. Got a game on our hands. Back to 4 goals. As the ball's thrown back up. Jamar with the tap. Wilson off the ground. Staunton, he goes off the deck. Piggott in pursuit, does well, though misses the ball completely. Gets a cheeky little handball over to Staunton. Staunton goes long inside 50. Farah from behind with the spoil. Does well. Gets dragged off the ball there. There's Paris. And they've jumped on him here. The umpire circling and says he will ball it up.
Yes, this time here you sort of wonder how much that tough wet game last week took out of Districts as well. So will their legs get heavy? I'm not sure. So this could make it a little bit harder for them in this last quarter. I'm sure Knife will have plenty of run in their legs.
So here's Staunton. He gets a handball back to Piggott. He nearly gets run down, gets the ball deep, inside 50. Brown with the double fister over the top for Nightcliff. Oh, that's a high tackle if I've ever seen one. The umpire agrees. The way I'm going tonight, I could be definitely an umpire. Not. As Phil Wills runs around, umpire says play on in the Moo direction. McAdam, is this holding on McAdam? Umpire says play on. Moo does well, keeps his feet. Kicks it to advantage. Here's Brown. Here they go, Nightcliff. I can feel him getting back into the game. Good mark down there. Extraordinary work there from Kyle Emery. It's Paddy White and a few going off it off the ball. Kick to the top of the square. Well worked over the back. Oh, he's given away the free kick. Oh, unlucky. Looks like it was there. Anyway, Brody Philo standing the mark. Geez, we would have had a game on our hand then if they snagged that one early. He's Bowden. Paddy White right up in his dial. Long down the line. Good kick too to Jared Brennan. Runs into the bench. Gives the Water Girl a bit of a massage. What are they doing here? It's juggled over the line, so I'll have a boundary throw in.
I think he'd be unlucky there by Jared Brennan. He was actually going to run into the fence and sort of drop the ball, but anyway, throw the ball in.
So back underway, Jamar with the double fister. Oh, that was a bit of a high tackle. Umpire says play on. Well, they just jump on Jared Brennan. Umpire circling. What's he going to do here? Holding the ball. I can't believe that one. That's 0 prior. They centre the ball. Here's Coco Nicky. He's off to a good start in his final quarter. Hits up Philo. Good mark. No, umpire says play on and hit the deck. Might have 2. And the umpire circling and said he'll ball it up.
Thought he might have had that one, but no, they've started well, Nightcliff here. We look at the replay. Oh, yes, no, hit the deck. Well done, umpire.
We're back underway. Jamar with the tap only as far as Wilson. Wilson thumbles. Ball pops out this side. Could have been hands in the back there. Ball pops over the top. Eilert in pursuit. Wraps up in a nice tackle. And the umpire ball this one. Again, that's not Ogden. stretching his calf out again, is it? I hope not.
I think Lionel might be done for the night.
Ball thrown back up in the air. Barlow with the tap, Tambling down there. Rosier gets wrapped up by Dirksen. That one goes over the line and we'll have a boundary throw in.
Yeah, I think you're right with Ogden. Obviously, with those calves, when you get a big cramp like that, you're always a little bit susceptible to actually tear or do a little strain in the muscle anyway. So I think unless this game gets really tight, I reckon you'll see him sit on the bench the rest of this match.
I cramped up when I walked down to the Fanny Bay shops this morning, so I don't know how he's going. So we're back into it. Rosie does well, just throws it, snaps it over his shoulder. Big punch over the top. Scanlon with the quick hands to Riley. Riley gets it long. Drop mark there to Sam Smith. Paddy White pursuit. Does well. Paddy 2-on-1. Be done well to hold it up. It's being held on to. Umpire says play on. Ball pops out. Good run down there from Coco Nicky. But it was too late. The kick's underway. And have a look at this. They're lining up in the middle. And Josiah Farah will go back and have a set shot. He'll kick from about 50 out directly in front, Jimmy.
He's a booming kick, so he should take his time. I think if he can slot this one, you know, take a little bit of time off the clock and put the pressure right back onto Nightcliff.
So Josiah Farah on the slow approach. Kick underway from 50. That's a big one. It's across the face. Through for a minor score. So you hear that horn going off downstairs. 12-13, 85 to Nightcliff. 9-6, 67 minutes gone. In the final quarter, it nearly gets ran down. It's good enough to get the kick away in the Farron James direction. James just weighing up his options. He's got Coco Nicky in the middle. Ignores that. Just goes long towards Phil Wills against McAdam. McAdam with a bit of holding on. Umpire agrees. So Wills winds around, centres the ball. It's over everyone's dial there. Here's Emery, gets taken high from Sleethy Boy. Jamar does well at ground level for a big unit. That's a bit of an awkward looking handball. Ball's on the deck. Sleeth, the flying mullet, does well. Clears the ball. Here they go, McLaughlin. Kicks inside 50. Farah flies from behind. Drops the mark. Ball pops out. Snap on the way. It's a dribbler and it's an absolute stinker. I tell you what, Jake Crowe-Duggan had a bit more time on his hand, Jimmy.
He did, and he doesn't very often look around to see if there's anyone else coming in either. He's as soon as he sees those goals, his eyes light up.
So Nathan Brown just bombs that one out to a 2-on-1. Here's McLaughlin, is it? Kick underway to the top of the square, Farrow over the top. Nathan Brown being held onto. Umpire in position there and paying that free kick. Now you would think lucky not to give away 50 there. Oh no, geez, we're seeing a few mistakes here late in the game. Scanlon, the old boy, Barlow off the deck. Front and centre, Farrell. He just drops it. Have a look at this, pops out to his brother. And that could be the nail in the coffin for Nightcliff. They move to Southern Districts, move to 13-14, 92. Nightcliff, 9-6, 60.
Yeah, that just doesn't look good for Nightcliff at the moment. Just looking out there, there's 3 or 4 guys just sort of standing there with their hands on the hips. To sort of, you know, you've probably got another 15 minutes of footy to go here. Could you, as I said, it's your last 15 minutes of the year. You've got to just take some risks, do whatever you can. And for me, number one, I'll be having Camiola out of that back pocket. I'd have him in the guts now, trying to make him win the game.
Is he? I can't believe he's still down there. Oh well, I'm not a coach. You two are, however, but.
Yeah, I agree with Timmy. I think at this stage of the game, get your best players around the footy and see what you can do.
Ball thrown back up. Jamar with the tap again. He's been good all night, has big Jamar. Ball's inside 50. Look at this. Barlow being held on to. Umpire says play on. Over the line for a pick-up. And it's snapped to the top of the square. Set of everyone's reach. And that one's over the line. Geez, that would have been goal of the night for sure. It's extraordinary.
He started off this last quarter pretty well. He's had 3 shots on goal in this first 10 minutes, and Yeah, we heard before the game he might not be playing, but he's definitely been a really important player tonight for them.
Ball thrown back in. It'll be good night, Nightcliff, if the Crocs get one here. Ball pops out. Snap underway from Ogden. It's a good one.
He's back.
You think they were it? He was out. He was out before. He could barely walk. He was doing a Nick O'Reilly trying to walk down to the Fannie Bay shops, and he's just snapped a goal and put a nail in the coffin.
Yeah, no, I think you see him there hobbling around, giving a bit of a high five to the crowd. But yeah, traditionally he's a back pocket player. You know, he's obviously been moved up there and, you know, following the ball there, but just he wasn't going to give that off. He was pretty keen. He saw those goals, kicked his second for the night. It's pretty good effort there for a little back pocket player, and yeah, good celebration. I think we're now looking at a Southern Districts versus Darwin Buffalo's grand final for me.
Unbelievable work from the bloke that could barely walk.
Might have had some pickle juice.
Bit of stand-up comedy there from Jimmy Driscoll as his Coco Nicky ran quickly. Good Nightcliff do. They're going to have to do something very quickly. Ball goes inside 50 to advantage. It's a good one. And a good mark taken there to Troy Coates. He centres the ball to Ryan Murray. Drops the mark. Brecknell gets wrapped up. Holding the ball. Should have gone back and had a shot there. Anyway, they switch the play here. Have the Crocs to Rory O'Brien. He goes down the line to Ed Barlow, and he will see that one over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, just obviously the time left caught Kyle Emery off there, and they tried to hit up a target inside. Ryan Moo ducked his head a little bit, I reckon, and probably should have taken that one, and they should have got a goal out of it.
So Jules Lockwood, Jamar wins that tap down. Ball pops out. Southern Districts looking a lot better this week in these conditions. Ball goes inside 50 in the Farah direction. And knocked over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, no, it makes it for a really interesting game next week. You hope it's going to be a nice, dry night for footy next week. I'm actually not sure what time the game is, but yeah, it will be a really exciting match. I know we're not saying Nightcliff can't get back from here, but you know, I'll be very surprised if they can find a way to win this one.
I've had the answers all night. It was a bit of an arm wrestle at the start, but Districts really putting their foot to the floor in that third quarter. As Nightcliff look to clear this one from their back line. Jared Brennan throws a boot on the ball, but that one looks to me as though it's going out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, he's looked a little bit out of sorts, old Jared Brennan tonight, but you know, obviously if they do get through the grand final, he'll be one who's, you know, got this full game under his belt tonight, and he'll just be a little bit better next week. And yeah, no, they've beaten the best side all year. They've only lost the one game coming into the final series, and obviously got beaten last week, and you know, it was a pretty tough night to play footy, but they'll be back firing next week. I've got no doubt Districts when they play on Buffs.
Oh, they've turned it over. Here he is. He's finding a bit of form. Farah. No, he hasn't. He's pushed that across the face.
You're talking about Jared Brennan. He's another one that Willie Farah, a little bit of form will do the world of good.
From one Farah to another, Josiah looking to set it on his brother's head. Just chips it over the top though. Does well. And Sam Smith just weighing up his options. So he's going to go long to the top of the square to a contest. Brennan underneath it. Ball's out to Ogden. Can he get another one? Nathan Brown thumbles. Gets it back. Nice clearing handball. Here they go. James puts the hammer down. Runs across the field in the Coco Nicky direction. Nicky uses a body well, but just goes without it. They've popped it out back to Farah. Farah gets it back again. Now he's got time and space. Puts it to centre half forward on top of Wilson's head. He drops the mark. He's Kane Riley. Gets the handball over to Philo. Philo on the deck. Stinker of a handball. So Farah over to Tambling. Now Tambling just holds the ball up for a minute just to gain a bit of control. It's a nice chisel, look at that. Although drop mark to Barry. Moo puts it out to Paddy White. Tambling stands the mark there. Goes long down the line to absolutely no one. Sam Smith. Smith goes inside. Looks like they're really going to bury him here. Kokoniki tries to wrap up Roker. He just goes long down the line. Jules Lockwood goes without it. Ball on the deck. Jules Lockwood does well not to give away the free kick. Paddy Watt with the handball. Out to Kane Riley, to Ryan Moo. Phil Wills. Now they're away. What can Willsy do? Puts it. Nice kick inside 50. The flight to the back. Frederick Sleeth does well. Keeps his feet. Ball pops out the back. And the free kick for too high there. Going the way of Zach Smith.
Yeah, Emery just came through here, as you see in the replay here. Just sort of, fumbled that first one. Great second effort there, but just sort of, yeah, probably doesn't look so bad in the replay there, but just copped it a little bit high, and Districts will bring out defence here and keep control of the ball.
So Bowden has been good tonight. Nice kick there. Finds Ogden. Ogden plays on. Straight to Kane Riley. So Riley, can he do? Hits up a target in Moo, the little man. Moo goes across field to James. Now James winds around, and that's a bit of a stinker. That might pay out. No, it's not going to. Oh, good tackle there from Wilson. Awarded the throw.
Worked hard this quarter, Wilson, along with Kane Riley.
Here's Brody Philo, and kick smothered. So they've stunk that one up. Here's Big Jules Lockwood. Puts the hammer down. Look at this. Big Jules. Don't tell me the big man. Oh, it's just... that would have been a fantastic goal to the big unit. See him accelerate in that pocket, too.
It's a testament to the District's defensive efforts that they're having shots from the pocket. They've made them work hard for their goals all night, have Districts.
Beautiful footwork there from Nicky, and he goes inside. Finds Wilson. So he can go back and have a set shot. 17 minutes gone. It's 99 to 61. Too little, too late, you would have thought here.
Yeah, I think they missed Big Lockwood up forward a bit tonight. He had to play in the ruck and just haven't had that big target up forward. He can just bring the ball down to the ground, which in itself has meant that, some of those smaller players in Ryan Moore just haven't been able to get in the game because the ball hasn't been on the deck down there.
Wilson gets the goal. 10-7-67. 14-15, 99, 32-point margin.
Couldn't agree more, Timmy. I think one thing they are lacking, and you see it with Districts with Jamar, is once you've got a good ruckman, you can put your players like Jules Lockwood forward, and you've got another target down there. And I think that's where Buffs caught them out a little bit last week, where they had O'Sullivan and Miles, two ruckmen and one that can sit forward. Makes it a pretty dangerous prospect.
Yeah, sort of a bit differently next week. Districts, obviously, they're going to have that same sort of situation again. It's going to be really interesting to see how they approach that. And I'm sure Matty Campbell and the Buffs will go with that same approach of those really tall forwards.
Absolutely. And I think Jamar just gets slammed down in the middle. Jamar needs to rotate forward and really stretch the Buffs' defence.
Speak of the devil, Jamar wins the free kick. That's a Barlow, plays on. Nice looking kick. O'Brien just weighing up his options. Goes sideways. Umpire says play on, not 15. Find a target in Barlow in the middle of the ground. Barlow could keep switching towards Jamar, although he's a big unit. Don't really want him trying to hit a target up. Barlow plays on. It's a long kick to Farah, flies. Just ran under it again. Still hasn't probably found his form. Brown does well. He kicks outside. Beautiful work there from Bricknell. Gives off to James. Has a run, has a bounce. It's an awkward looking kick in the Philo direction. Philo overruns it. Here's my boy, Frederick Sleeth with the mullet. Although in true mullet style, he's turned this one over. Doesn't matter. You would think this one's all done. Sleeth stands under it, drops a mark. Farah does well. Throws it on his wrong foot. Gets it across to Bowden. Bowden, long to a contest. Works well to Curry. Curry just pops it over to Richie Tambling. Goes without it. Being held on to. Umpire says play on. Eilert with the handball to Riley. Riley, big contest with Riley and Smith. Umpire says play on. Wilson snaps to the top of the square. Both players still down, although Riley's up. Ball still in the play. Have a look at this. Across the face. And missed opportunity there from Elliot Powell. Out of bounds on the full. Big contest there from Sam Smith. Kane Riley, as we have a look. Great contest. Two hard nuts going at it. Paul Jamar just running corkied. The player there. He's won the free kick. He just ran and drove the knee into Dirksen. Pretty average from the big unit, I would have thought. Gives a handball off to Phil Wills. Phil Wills kicks long. The Jules Lockwood direction. Bit of spinning. That one's 2 out of bounds on the fulls in a row. As we say, Scotty McLeod just come back on the field. Looks a bit proppy, Jimmy.
Yeah, he does. And a few heavy collisions lately. There'll be a few proppy boys.
Matty Campbell and the Buffs crew will just be hoping it just goes up a notch in the few last minutes. Jamar misses that one. Ball pops out the back. They've done well. Have the Crocs to work this one. Curry pops it over to Barlow. Barlow keeps running. Kicks to centre half forward. Tim Brook does well. Dances around a few. Kicks to the top of the square. Farah through for a behind.
I think with Willie Farrow not jumping at the ball, you can nearly play him as a small forward. Have another key down there and he just stays at their feet.
100 to 67, 22 minutes gone in the final quarter. So they've won a free kick here. Staunton puts the target up. Eilert underneath it. Farah gets the handball off. Look at this. It's too easy. That's across the face. Across the face of goal. And there it is. Full time here at TIO Stadium in the second preliminary final. Southern Districts 14-17-101 have defeated Nightcliff 10-7-67. We've got a Darwin Buffaloes Southern Districts game next week, boys.
Yeah, no, it's going to be really exciting. They've obviously played each other last week. It was they came back late in that game in that rain-soaked oval. But yeah, I think they've been, Districts have been the best side all year. They just needed that game last week, and I really think they're going to be a tough team to play against next week.
Wasn't a tough game tonight, was it? Matty Campbell and the lads at Darwin Buffaloes would have been hoping for that.
They would have been hoping for a contested game, but it was really open and fast. So, which is also not a bad outcome for the Buffaloes, but yeah, next week will be a super game. As you say, Districts have been the best all year, and Buffs are playing some super footy.
Darwin Buffaloes taking on Southern Districts next week. Southern Districts 14-17-101 to Nightcliff 10-7-67. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back next week for the grand final.